You get a phone call in the middle of the night that a loved one has been in a catastrophic crash with a large commercial truck somewhere out on the highway. Your first thoughts are, will she live? Will he be okay? And then you rush off to the trauma center. Before you got that call, some things had already happened. Somebody called 911, and probably about the same time, the truck driver called the dispatcher, maybe on a cell phone, maybe on a satellite communications system in the truck cab. The dispatcher called the company's risk manager, even at home in the middle of the night, and the risk manager then immediately looked at a list and called to deploy a rapid response team that includes a trucking defense lawyer in the state where it happened, an investigator close enough by to get to the scene quickly. By the time you got the call, the rapid response team was on the way or perhaps already at the scene while your loved one was either in the ambulance, in the emergency room, or sometimes, unfortunately, in the morgue. Now, when the rapid response team gets there, they go about the business of trying to preserve the evidence that they like and figuring out what to do about the evidence they don't like. And we've seen cases where we knew the rapid response team was on the scene while the police were preoccupied with controlling traffic, and somehow driver logs mysteriously disappeared in the confusion, or an investigator for the trucking company appeared to have influenced the police investigators' thinking and analysis of the case. These things happen. Now, in a trucking case, more than almost any other kind of case, it is important to quickly act in order to get a lawyer who understands trucking cases. Trucking cases are not like other cases. They're not just big car wrecks. The law is different, the insurance is different, the technology is different, the industry is different, and the trial techniques are different. The discovery and investigation is different. When you go about trying to find a lawyer for a trucking case, first of all, understand you need to act quickly. Some of the electronic evidence disappears within a matter of days or weeks. Records, documents that the company is required by law to keep, they only have to keep under federal regulations for 6 months, so you need to act quickly. Secondly, ask the lawyer some questions. Ask what he knows about the trucking company. If he doesn't know where to look online to immediately check things about the company, where it's located, how many drivers and units they have, what their first layer of insurance coverage is, something about their safety record, he may not be a trucking lawyer. Ask about the law involved. If he makes some vague reference to, well, I think there's some kind of federal rules out there, or refers to the Interstate Commerce Commission that was terminated years ago, and doesn't make specific references to provisions of the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Regulations that may be involved in your case, he may not be a trucking lawyer. Ask what his own rapid response plan is, how he would proceed if he got the case. If he doesn't have some fairly specific ideas about how to go about preserving the evidence and how to go about notifying the trucking company and its insurer to preserve specific documents and electronic data and physical evidence, he may not be a trucking lawyer. Ask how many times he's been invited to speak at national continuing legal education programs to teach other lawyers how to try trucking cases and to teach other lawyers about trucking law, trucking insurance, trucking trial techniques. If he hasn't done that, or has done it once and wasn't invited back, that may be a clue. Ask how many cases of all types, trucking and other cases, he or she has tried to a jury, to a verdict. You need somebody who has the confidence and the experience and the knowledge to try cases before juries all the way to a verdict, and the other side knows that. Your best settlements come if the other side knows that you're prepared to go to trial and take them to a verdict. Now, we can't make the facts. But if we get involved early enough, we can have the opportunity to preserve the evidence and to seek the truth, and that usually leads to a better result than if we're called months and months after the tragedy has occurred.